Hare Krishna, my friends. Welcome to our Friday night reading of Sri Brahma Samhita in Bhaktiville. We had a lot of fun in our reading when we last met. We had lots of details, lots of interesting aspects of creation. We referred to our cosmology chart a great deal to discern what was being discussed. Which Vishnu? Where is the Viraja River? Where is Brahma, the composer of this book, in all of this? Well, I have to say, I feel singularly unqualified to explain much of this. So tonight I will read from parts of Srila Narayana Maharaja's translation of this book for further understanding. I have included a link to that book in this week's blurb, so let's continue. We're on page 28 of the PDF, text 10. But before we get started, we have a couple of things we do. Let's please offer our obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at His lotus feet. And please also accept my obeisances. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripasindubhya Vacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I also offer my respectful obeisances unto the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just like desire trees and can fulfill the desires of everyone, and they are full of compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Jai Prabhupada. All right, so let's sing this. I'll sing it just sing it along. We won't do call and response. We can just sing it in unison. How about that? Then you don't have to hear me so much. But I do want to read the translation because it's just such a sweet song. The translation is really sweet. All right, so we're going to sing it together. So you can sing it with me as you listen. All right, and the words are up there on the screen, I hope. Our videographer has zoomed in on them. All right. Yes, he says. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Channa Vallabha Girivardhari Yasoda Nandana Rajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Panachari. That's enough. But let me read the translation because it's so sweet. Krishna is the lover of Radha. He displays many amorous pastimes in the groves of Vrindavan. He is the lover of the cowherd maidens of Braj and the holder of the great hill named Govardhan. He is the beloved son of Mother Yashoda, the delighter of the inhabitants of Braj, and he wanders in the forest along the banks of the river Yamuna. And there he is. Krishna. Prabhupada says everything is there in this song. It's all there. Everything is there. All right. So what did I say? We're on page 28 of the PDF or text 10 if you want to follow along on the database. You can read it there, text 10. And so I'll just sing it through once. You can sing along with me if you like. Sing along with Dasi Lane. We'll just sing it through once. Shaktimam Purusha Soyam Lingarupi Maheshwara Tasmin Avira Bulinge Mahavishnu Jatatpatihi. Synonyms. Shaktiman, joined to his female consort. Purushaha, person. Saha, he. I am, this. Lingarupi, in the form of the male generating organ. Maha Ishvaraha, Shambhu, the Lord of this mundane world. Tasmin, in that, Avirabhut, manifested, Linge, in the manifested emblem, Mahavishnu, Viratpatihi, the Lord of the world. And the translation, the person embodying the material causal principle, namely, the great Lord of this mundane world, Maheshwara Shambhu, in the form of the male generating organ, is joined to his female consort, the limited energy, Maya, as the efficient causal principle. The Lord of the world, Mahavishnu, is manifest in him by his subjective portion, excuse me, in the form of his glance. And let me read the translation for Narayana Maharaja's book. The controller of all, the original agent, who has been indicated by the word Maheshwara, is the potent male, Purusha. For the purpose of creation, he is manifest in the form of the original male generative capacity, Linga. He who is called Mahavishnu, the Lord of the cosmos, also appears in that combination of the active and receptive principles of creation by his expansion in the form of his glance. And I'm going to read his purport, but I'm going to read this from Prabhupada's first. So, purport. In the transcendental atmosphere, Para Vyoma, so Vyoma is sky, and Para is what's beyond or transcendental, so spiritual sky. Where spiritual majesty preponderates, there is present Sri Narayana, who is not different from Krishna. Mahasankarshan, subjective plenary facsimile of the extended personality of Sri Narayana, is also the divine plenary portion of the propagatory embodiment of Sri Krishna. By the power of his spiritual energy, a plenary subjective portion of him, eternally reposing in the neutral stream of Viraja, forming the boundary between the spiritual and mundane realms, casts his glance at creation unto the limited shadow potency, Maya, who is located far away from him. Facsimile means same. Like a fax machine is a facsimile machine. Facsimile. So here he's referring to Karanadakashaya Vishnu. Thereupon Shambhu, Lord of Pradhana, or the material nature, or the ingredients, embodying the substantive principle of all material entities, who is the same as Rudra, or Shiva. We're talking about Shiva here. The dim reflection of the Supreme Lord's own divine glance consummates his intercourse with Maya, the efficient mundane causal principle. But he can do nothing independently of the energy of Mahavishnu, representing the direct spiritual power of Krishna. Therefore, the principle of Mahat, or the great total material existence, or the perverted cognitive faculty, is produced only when the subjective plenary portion of Krishna, namely, the prime divine avatar Mahavishnu, who is the subjective portion of Sankarshan, or the portion that he gives for that subjective portion. Himself, the subjective portion of Krishna, is propitious or favorably disposed towards the active mutual endeavors of Maya, Shiva's consort, Shakti, and Pradhana, or the principle of substantive mundane causality. So the explanation by Srila Narayana Maharaja is a little bit easier to understand, so we'll read that when I'm finished here. Agreeably to the initiative of Mahavishnu, the consort of Shiva, Parvati, creates successively the mundane ego, ahankara, the five mundane elements, the bhutas, namely space, etc., their attributes, tanmatras, and the limited senses of the conditioned soul, or jiva. The constituent particles in the form of pencils of effulgence. And this, I thought, pencils. So I had to look up the word pencils, right? And pencils in physics is also a set of light rays converging or diverging from a single point. So light rays. So in the form of light rays of effulgence of Mahavishnu, or manifest as the individual souls or jivas. And this will be elaborated in the sequel. So later on, we'll get some more. So what's this? Did we read once that Mahavishnu was the form of Krishna that actually touched the material world? Yes. So let's digress a little bit. I did get a different Bhuta Tanmatra visual here. So when he's talking about the consort of Shiva creates successfully the mundane ego, ahankara, the five mundane elements, the bhutas, their attributes, the tanmatras, and the limited senses of the conditioned soul, or jiva. So they're all here on this little chart. So Purusha, that's Krishna, and then the second thing is Prakriti, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. We know those: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Then the three buddhis. The third one is buddhi, or intellect, and four ahankara, the ego, or the false ego. And fifth thing are the manas, the bhutindriyan, the karmendriyan, the tanmatras, the mahabhutas. So the hearing, touching, seeing, tasting, smelling, and what that is, the speaking, grasping, moving, excreting, procreating. Bhaktiville asks, are tattvas form of Vishnu's? Tattvas are actually explanations of things. Tattvas. Vishnu tattva is tattva for lots of tattvas, the understandings, the 25 understandings or explanations, or what's the word? Explanations is all, or things that are explicit. The explicit are explanations. Then why are tattvas the only thing allowed on an altar? Tattvas, well, those are the explanations, the visualizations, the understandings, the Vishnu tattvas. Yes. Yes, they are. They're embodied Vishnu tattvas. Are you missing a word? No. It's a big word, tattva. It's explanation, it's understanding, it's embodied. Okay. Embodiment. Okay, good. All right. You're welcome. It's a big word. They use it all the time for all kinds of things. Let me see. I have a little dictionary here. Let me see if it's explained any better. Truth, reality, philosophical principle, the essence or substance of anything. You think of them as persons. I think that's correct, because all of these in our philosophy, everything is personified. So thinking of them as persons is not a bad thing. Truth is a person. all of these, vach, speaking, is a person. All of these things are personified. It's a little different than our Western thinking. We have a word for that too, we do. Okay, so this is the end of this little purport. I know, I'll think of it too. I remember getting in trouble for doing that in writing. Anyway, so the last bit of this purport is what's there on the board. And I also want to point out that I have, excuse me, I'm going to stand up and walk over there. I've put up the chart here. A little chart that we have. Bhaktiville says, assigning human characteristics to non-human things. Yes. So I put that chart here so that we could look at it, because we are going to refer to this in the next one. So I want to point things out before I go back to my seat. So up at the very top of this chart, there's the big flower with Radha Krishna in the middle. And then it has concentric circles underneath it. It says Gokula, and then and Rajadam, and then I can't read it. Oh, it got too big. Dwarkadam, Ayodhyadam. Those are all listed underneath those. And then there's a little gray rectangle that says first quadruple expansion. And around it says Vasudeva, Aniruddha, Sankarshan, Pradyumna. And so that Sankarshan goes on to produce another second quadruple expansion of the same names, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Sankarshan. What's the fourth one? Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vasudeva. But this one, in the second quadruple expansion, it's Maha Sankarshan. And it's that Maha Sankarshan who is the Karnadakshaya Vishnu. So let's just keep that in mind when I go back, sit down for the next one, because this will be relevant. All I can think of is onomatopoeia, and that's not the word. I'm sure someone who's listening to this is yelling at it at the screen, telling us what it is, but I can't hear them yet. All right. Yes, they are. All right, so let me read the purport from Maharaja's translation. So he says, this verse has been spoken to clarify the previous verse. The unmanifest form mentioned previously now emerges in its manifest form for the purpose of creation. How does it emerge? The partial expansion of a partial expansion of Bhagavan, called the original potent male principle, Maheshvara, that's Shiva, creates the material universe. Everything in the world of Maya, such as false ego, intelligence, mind, the 5 gross elements, the 5 sense objects, and the unmanifest aggregate of the material energy, is the manifest representation of the unmanifest form of Bhagavan. So he's referring here to this chart that's on our board here of the Bhuttas, the Tanmatras, all those things. He's referring to that. The self-sufficient Mahavishnu, who is the Lord of all living entities, in all spiritual and material worlds, is the origin, the Amshi of Maheshwara, and who appears in a manifest form as the linga, or original male generative capacity. It is also stated in the commentary on Laghu Bhagavatamrita, which is written by Srila Rupa Goswami, and I'll just read the English, that Supreme Personality, the possessor of all potencies, Mahavishnu, takes the form of Maheshwara as the linga, or original generative capacity, and then enters within it as the Lord of the mundane universes. He goes on to explain, Sri Narayana, Sri Krishna's personal expansion, who is non-different from him, reigns gracefully in the Vaikuntha realm of the spiritual sky, or in transcendental opulence, predominates. The Mahasankarshan, which is in the second gray box of the chart over there, is also a partial expansion of Sri Baladev, Sri Krishna's first pastime expansion, by the influence of the inconceivable potency, that Mahasankarshan in the form of his partial expansion, Karanadakshayi Mahavishnu, eternally reposes in Viraja, which is the borderline between the conscious and unconscious realms. Bhaktiville says, oh, Balaram, Ananta is someone else too. Yes. They all are in these different pastime forms. Yes. So from there, he glances toward Maya, which is the remotely situated shadow of the spiritual potency. The semblance of that transcendental glance is Shambhu, the Lord of Pradhana, which is replete with the potential material ingredients. Shambhu, in the form of Rudra, unites with Maya, the instrumental cause. However, he cannot do anything without the influence of the direct spiritual might of Sri Krishna in the form of Mahavishnu. Therefore, the unmanifest material energy, Mahatattva, emerges only when the active endeavors of Maya, Shiva Shakti, and the primordial material ingredients, Pradhana, are sanctioned by Sankarshan, with Sri Krishna's personal expansion, and Mahavishnu, with Sankarshan's personal expansion, and the first Purusha avatar. Bhaktiville says, I don't know why I find this so interesting. It reminds me of studying science. It is. When Prabhupada says this is the science of spiritual realization, of self-realization, you got it. You hit the nail on the head. This is it right here. It is exactly like science. All right. We have one more paragraph of this from Srila Narayana's book. Only when Mahavishnu is favorable does Shiva Shakti gradually create the element of false ego, the 5 gross elements beginning with space, the 5 sense objects, and the material senses of the jivas, or particles of the rays or pencils of Mahavishnu's effulgence. An elaborate analysis of this aspect will be presented in the coming verses. So, I hope that no one's offended that I have read something in Srila Prabhupada's temple from Srila Narayana Maharaja, but I found it just incredibly illuminating and supportive of all of what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta and Srila Prabhupada have been saying. And Bhaktiville says, no, that's how you do science. You You explain it in many ways, yes. So I'm hoping that that is illuminating. Seeing the chart, reading the original text, seeing the chart, seeing the table on the board, and then listening to this another explanation of it. All right. Let me read the next text, text 11. So I'll sing the Sanskrit first. Sahasra Shirsha Purusha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sahasra Bahur Vishvatma Sahasramsha Sahasra Suhu. Synonyms. Sahasra Shirsha. So Sahasra is 1,000. It also indicates infinite. It's so many, right? So possessing thousands of heads. Purushaha, Lord Mahavishnu, the first Purusha avatar. Sahasra Akshaha, possessing thousands of eyes. Sahasrapat, possessing thousands of legs. Sahasra Bahu, possessing thousands of arms. Vishva Atma, the supersoul of the universe. Sahasra Amsha, the source of thousands of avatars. Sahasra Suhu, the creator of thousands of individual souls. Translation. The Lord of the mundane world, Mahavishnu, possesses thousands of heads, eyes, and hands. He is the source of thousands of avatars in his thousands of subjective portions. He is the creator of thousands of individual souls. And again, I'm going to hop over and read to you the translation from Narayana Maharaja. That master of the universe, Mahavishnu, possesses thousands upon thousands of heads, thousands upon thousands of eyes, thousands upon thousands of arms, and thousands upon thousands of incarnations and plenary expansions. He is the self of the cosmos, and he alone creates thousands upon thousands of living entities. Purport here in Prabhupada's Bhaktisiddhanta's translation, very short. Mahavishnu, the object of worship of the hymns of all the Vedas, is possessed of an infinity of senses and potencies, and he is the prime avatar Purusha, the source of all avatars. And I'm going to jump over and read the purport from Narayana Maharaja's book. The form of Mahavishnu is being described thus in the current verse, beginning with the words Sahasra Shirsha. He whose innumerable incarnations appear in thousands upon thousands of plenary portions is called Sahasramsha. Similarly, he who creates thousands upon thousands of living entities is called Sahasrasuhu. Here the word Sahasra, 1,000, has been used to indicate an uncountable number. It is evident that the word Sahasra is used throughout the scriptures to convey the sense of innumerable. Furthermore, in describing the intrinsic form and nature of Mahavishnu, it is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 2.642, quote, the first avatara of Bhagavan, the Lord of the spiritual realm, is the Purusha who lies down on the causal ocean and casts his glance upon material nature. The following are all substances related to Parameshwara, his activities, such as the creation of time and acquired nature, material nature, which is composed of cause and effect, the unmanifest stage of material nature, Mahatattva, the gross elements, false ego, the aggregate of the modes of material nature beginning with the mode of goodness manifested as various forms of life, hellish planets such as Patalaloka, the aggregate of living entities, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, moving and non-moving entities, and individual bodies. So if you look over at that chart with the picture, to put it right outside. Bhaktiville says that was an interesting place to put, to put time. Yes, creates time. So if you look over there at that picture that we have of the cosmos, Krishna transcends time. Of course he does. Yes. He created it. He transcends it. Absolutely. So you'll see there in the picture of pictorial description of everything, you'll see Krishna laying down in the bluish green water, and he's laying on the Karuna ocean, and the river is between us, or between him and the spiritual sky. So that's what's being referred to here. And from him comes all of these whirls of planets, planetary systems. So that's what he's referring to here in this report. So in the commentary to this verse, it is stated that the gigantic Purusha who instigates the activities of material nature, who has thousands of heads and so on, has been called the original avatar, who assumes a pastime form. His activities include creation of the time factor, acquired nature, and other elements of the material creation. Thus, the original Purusha avatar creates, maintains, and destroys within himself and by himself at the beginning of every lifetime of Brahma. So at the end of cycle of Brahma, this Purusha takes everything back into himself, including the living entities, and then all that comes out again with the Brahma, and it all starts over again. So that's what he's referring to here. Although he is one, he, Krishna, is one, he is manifest in many forms through his illusory energy. This universe, consisting of factual existence and the non-factual or temporary existence of cause and effect, is situated within him alone. Therefore, all these phenomena have been called substances related to him. Mahavishnu, who is praised throughout the Vedas, is replete with unlimited transcendental senses and is characterized by endless power. That Purusha is the origin of all incarnations. And all the incarnations within the material world come from Mahavishnu. Sri Krishna is himself the source of all other expansions and incarnations, including Mahavishnu. So it's 6:42 here. We started a little bit late, but I think the next verse will make us go way beyond time, so we'll stop with this. So Bhaktiville says, but Krishna does not come following that path. No, Krishna is the source of all of these incarnations. No, he's the source of all of these. We'll read a little more. There is a little side step there where Krishna comes from Vishnu, but he's still Krishna. So we'll see that when we get to it. But for now, we'll just leave it at that Krishna is the source of all of these pastime incarnations. So when people say that Vishnu is supreme, it's true. We as Gaudiya Vaishnavas say, yes, Vishnu is supreme, with the understanding that Krishna is the source of Vishnu. There is a Vaishnava Sampradaya that sees Vishnu as supreme and not Krishna, the cowherd boy, as supreme. They see it in the other way around. But our Gaudiya Sampradaya, this is our understanding that Krishna, the cowherd boy, is the source of all Vishnu expansions. Bhaktiville says that is almost impersonal. But the thing is, everyone is created differently. We're not every jiva has the inherent quality of being attracted to Krishna as the cowherd boy or Krishna as the lover of Radha. We are all different. And so some jivas are created with that Aishwarya component, that opulent, that component of opulence, which identifies Vishnu. So, everyone's different. Everyone is created different. Everyone has inherent qualities that are different from everyone else. And all of those on the pictorial description over there, there's Dwarka, there's Vishnu Loka, there's all these different places. There's Rama, people who are, who are inherently attracted to Rama. That's their thing. So, and some are have that quality of being attracted to Vishnu. So they are Vaishnava. Anyone on that pictorial chart who's attracted to Krishna, Dwarka, the wives of Krishna, or Rama, Rama and all of his activities, Hanuman, all those devotees who are attracted to Rama and Hanuman Chalisa, they're all Vaishnavas. That's their inherent relationship with Krishna. And if you are listening to this, if you're listening to me read about Krishna and Brahma Samhita, I would say that you are a part of your inherent nature is being attracted to Krishna, the cowherd boy. So, all right, and with that, we'll end. Any other questions or comments? Bhaktiville says, I would not know that without Prabhupada. Yes, we wouldn't know any of this without Prabhupada. And Prabhupada brought an understanding of all of this to us, and understanding of all of this. So it's only through his mercy that I can even have access to any of this. So at the end, we say, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. All right, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you stay tuned. We'll keep going, and please give us a like there and